Hello, ukulele players. Today we have a favorite. It is Sweet Caroline. And so this one has, because it's now in the intermediate level, we've got some tabbed parts. This is from San Jose, which is a really good ukulele site. It's got the timing, so we're going to jump right in. We've done our check-in. Hopefully that's a bit of a habit now. I'm in tune. I have the instrument that I have with the low G on it, and I've tuned up because this one doesn't have the built-in tuner, so you would want to always tune every time you sit down to play. There's a lot going on in this song, but it's such a classic. It's a great song, and in terms of the music that is in the description box, you've got the little vertical lines showing the bars, and that helps a lot to keep everybody together, because especially with a song like this where people might hear it a different way, it keeps you all sort of relatively on the same beat there. So not looking at the tabbed part quite yet. Look at the first row of music there with the C. So you've got 2 beats, and then you start to sing. It would probably be the and of 2 if you looked up the music notation. It'd just be a bit of a split between the 2 and the 3 beats. So it's 1, 2, where it began, and then you count 3, 4, and then F is the beat of 1, and then 1, 2, I can begin to know, and then it's marked there with another bar. Second line, C, 2, but then I know it's growing strong, 2, 3, 4, another bar. And so similar as you carry on, you see the timing shown for the lyrics. So I always tell people, the beats, well, that's your foundation. So if you've played 4 beats of C, you have to move on to the next bar. And if you haven't sung the words quite yet, then you're just going to let that go. That's the beautiful thing about music, is it's done and it's very in the moment. All right, so you've got the tabbed part along the top, which of course is the classic dee 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 dee, we all know. And then you get farther into the song, and there's these little tiny 2-bar little, and it's the riff. It goes da da da. So when you see that, and it's about halfway down page 1, and you're on an F chord, and I just wanted to show you something before we start off. So you're on the F chord there, and then on 1, 2, and then you just play the first note. So I would leave this one in place, but I'm just showing you. So it's open, so you let it go. And then if I was to not be moving my fingers to show you, I would have that A note in place, which is the 2 of the low G. So it sounds funny, and I always giggle when I hear them going da 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 on the standard tune, but don't go out and change your instrument with the string to do that. Just, I wanted you to know in the technique of it, it's just then lift, and then you're right up here, and then you keep going on the F chord. And so that would be an area that you could loop and get really good at that little spot. And it comes, quick, depending on the tempo that you've set, 4/4 time. So let's do a little bit of a vocal warm-up. And now that you're into the intermediate level, I'm going to start working on a G major scale. So I've got the low G instrument, so it's going to be easier for me. La. So 2nd fret is an A note, and you can hear that. Do, re, so G, A, and then there's a B here, which you wouldn't have in pitch order if you had the high G, but it'd still be a B note. B, so do, A, re, and then here's a C, which is also on the open string. C, 2nd fret D, just like in our C major scale, and then E, open, but it's F sharp because of the tone, semitone thing that we need to do. We don't have an F, we have an F sharp, so it's not the 1st fret, but the 2nd one. And then you're on to the G again. So I'm going to play it without stopping so you can hear. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And if I played the F natural, it would not sound right, because those wouldn't be the steps that you need for the sounds of a major scale. So, and then here's C, D, E, and if I played F, and that wouldn't sound like a major scale to most people, even if they weren't musically inclined. Okay, so let's start off, and we're going to break down that little tabbed part. So if you haven't learned to read tab, there's a bunch of different ones. I always suggest people learn to read Frere Jacques, which is in the beginner level, and then Happiness Blues, and then Wipeout, and then you're quite familiar with tab reading. So that's Happiness Blues is about midway through advanced beginner, and you can just search, I think, in the channel for that. And then Wipeout is the first song in this intermediate level. So with Sweet Caroline, beat 1 actually of the tabbed part would be just an 8th note rest. So it would be, you'd say 1, and then you jump into this 2. So I'm just playing it with the 2nd finger and my thumb, open E now, and then the 1st fret. And then you see that there's a blank spot because they're trying to give you some timing. So it's going to be held there. So, and then that, and so I tell people, don't jump too far into the tab when you're first learning. Try and learn the first 2 bars. So let's do that again. 2nd fret in place. Pluck that. Now to the open E, and then 1st fret. So mechanics first, then the rhythm. So, and then to the 2, open 1. And I'm going to do that one more time, and then I'm just going to leave that. I'll probably play the whole thing. So, and then, but not instructionally. So, and I'm moving on, and then it's. Now those F, E minor, F chords would be if you were doing the strumming, but otherwise they're half notes for the person that's picking. So it's 3rd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the A string, so 2 beats each, and then up to the 7, which is usually marked, and then 5, and then we're right into the song. And if you don't want to learn the tab, or when you're picking it, you can just strum the chords. So that's, and I always tell people, use the fret muting that we're starting to learn, where you put your fingers on, you squeeze and strum, and then release, and it cuts it off. So that's muting in the fret hand. Squeeze. Now I'm at the F, and then jump to the E minor for 2 beats, and then back to F, G, and now we get to sing. Sorry, where it began, 2, 3, 4. I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Was in the spring, then spring became the summer. Believed you'd come along to me. Hands 3, 4, 1, and following the little dots, A minor, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you, 2, 3, 4. And then it's a quick change. Sweet Caroline. Now I'm going to slow down, and then it's that. But it will be da, 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 da. You have the high G. Good times never seem so good. 1, 2, and here's our quick change. I've been inclined to believe that 2 beats but 1 strike, so 1, 2, oh. Now I look at the night, and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with 2. And when I hurt runs off my shoulders, how can I hurt when holding you? 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I didn't set up my paper so I could see page 2. Here we go, page 2. So we're on C, warm, 2, 3, 4, 2 bars. Then you do the A minor, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. And then our sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Quick change, change, I've been inclined. And if you don't want to do the da-da-da, you just play the chords shown along the top. To believe they never would, oh, reach A minor, no. And then you got to be ready for that. If you're really excited about playing that tabbed part, your eyes would be looking ahead to know that it's there, or put a little, 2 little eyes looking to remind yourself that it's coming up again. So again, real slow, I'm going to pick it. So it's 2nd fret, thumb drops to the open E. And then 1, 3, 8. Remember, tab is inverted. 3, 2, up to the 7. And you could use your baby finger, but I just slid. Sweet Caroline, and the da da da. Good times never seem so good. 1, 2, sweet Caroline, da da da. Good times never seem, and retard, so slowing down. Good, oh no, no, and then I always do a flourishy. So it's quite a dramatic song. And in terms of a strum, I just like a gentle accompaniment. Remember, a melody is meant to be heard above the accompaniment, which your chording is, right? You could do down, down, up, down, that modified shuffle, or just a nice brush strum. So that last chunk again, just to finish. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Sweet Caroline, and I'll pick it. So holding that F in place. Good times never seem so good. Oh, slide over, staircase, no, no. So I didn't say, but it's key of C. So you've got almost all the chords of the scale of C major upon which the chords are built. So you've got C, D minor, E minor, F, G, and you've got an A. Again, no B chord, because this just doesn't fit into a lot of the melodies. So that's a good one, I think, to incorporate a little bit of advancement through your skills. Very well-known song. All ages seem to still know this song, because I teach different ages, and they even know Sweet Caroline, which is a great thing. Okay, so I hope that you found that helpful and fun to learn, and just slowly chipping away at small segments of the tab. But then if you find it like a lot of frustration, just play the chords along the top, and you can sing, or just imagine the sound of the picked melody in your head, and try and make it as enjoyable so that you're encouraged to play and enjoy yourself doing so. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. If you have, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on our next video. Bye for now.